And Sahadeva, and the Greeks are known as Pulindas. And it is mentioned in the Vanaparva of Mahabharata that the non-Vedic race of this part of the world would rule over the world. This Pulinda province was also one of the provinces of Bharata, and the inhabitants were classified amongst the Kshatriya kings. But later on, due to their giving up the Brahmanical culture, they were mentioned as Mlechas, just as those who are not followers of Islamic culture are called Kafirs, and those who are not followers of Christian culture are called Heathens. Abhira, this name also appears in Mahabharata both in Sabha Parva and Bhishma Parva. It is mentioned that this province was situated on the river Saraswati in Sindh. The modern Sindh province formerly extended on the other side of the Arabian Sea, and all the inhabitants of the province were known as the Abhiras. They were under the dominion of Yudhishthir Maharaj. And according to the statements of Markandeya, the Mlechas of this part of the world would also rule over Bharata. Later on, this proved to be true, as in the case of the Pulindas. On behalf of Pulindas, Alexander the Great conquered India, and on behalf of the Abhiras, Muhammad Gori conquered India. These Abhiras were formerly Kshatriyas with Brahmanical culture, but they gave up the connection. The Kshatriyas who were afraid of Parashurama and had hidden themselves in the Caucasian hilly regions, later on became known as Abhiras, and the place they inhabited was known as Abhira Desha. Shambhas or the Kankas, the inhabitants of Kanka province of the old Bharata, mentioned in the Mahabharata. Yavanas. Yavana was the name of one of the sons of Maharaj Yayati, who was given the part of the world known as Turkey to rule. Therefore, the Turks are Yavanas due to being descendant of Maharaj Yavana. The Yavanas were therefore Kshatriyas, and later on, by giving up the Brahmanical culture, they became Lechas Yavanas. Description of Yavanas are in the Mahabharata, Adi Parva 85.34. Another prince called Turuasu was also known as Yavana, and this country was conquered by Sahadeva, one of the Pandavas. The western Yavanas joined with Duryodhana in the battlefield of Kurukshetra under the pressure of Karna. And it was also foretold these Yavanas also would conquer India, and it proved to be true. Khasa, the inhabitants of Khasa Desha, are mentioned in the Mahabharata, Drona Parva. Those who have stunted growth of hair on the upper lip are generally called Khasas. As such, the Khasa are the Mongolians, the Chinese, and others who are so designated. The above mentioned historical names are different nations of the world. Even those who are constantly engaged in sinful acts are all corrigible to the standard of perfect human beings if they take shelter of the devotees of the Lord. Jesus Christ and Muhammad, two powerful devotees of the Lord, have done tremendous service on behalf of the Lord on the surface of the globe. And from the version of Srila Shukadeva Goswami, it appears that instead of running the godless civilization in the present context of the world situation, if the leadership of the world affairs is entrusted to the devotees of the Lord, for which the worldwide organization under the name and style of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness has already been started, then by the grace of the Almighty Lord, there can be thorough change of heart in human beings all over the world, because the devotees of the Lord are able authorities to effort such a change by purifying the dust-worn minds of the people in general. The politicians of the world may remain in their respective positions because the pure devotees of the Lord are not interested. Because the pure devotees of the Lord are not interested in political leadership or diplomatic implications. The devotees are interested only in seeing that the people in general are not misguided by political propaganda, and that the valuable life of human being is not spoiled in following the type of civilization which is ultimately doomed. If the politicians therefore would be guided by the good counsel of the devotees, then certainly there would be a great change in the world situation by the purifying propaganda of the devotees as shown by the Lord Chaitanya. As Sukadeva Goswami began his prayer by discussing the word Yat Kirtanam, so also the Lord Chaitanya recommended that simply by glorifying the Lord's holy name, a tremendous change of heart can take place, by which the complete misunderstanding between the human nations created by the politicians can at once extinguished. And after the extinction of the fire of misunderstanding, others' profits will follow. The destination is to go back home, back to Godhead, as we have several times discussed in these pages. According to the cult of devotion, generally known as Vaishnava cult, there is no bar against anyone's advancing in the matter of God realization. A Vaishnava is powerful enough to turn into a Vaishnava, even a Kirata, etc., as above mentioned. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.32, it is said by the Lord that there is no bar to becoming a devotee of the Lord, even for those who are low born, or women, Shudras, or Vaishyas. And by becoming a devotee, everyone is eligible to return home back to Godhead. The qualification is that one takes shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord, who has thorough knowledge in the transcendental science of Krishna. Anyone from any part of the world who becomes well conversant in the science of Krishna becomes a pure devotee and spiritual master for the general mass of people, and may reclaim them by purification of heart. Though a person be even the most sinful man, he can at once be purified by systematic contact with a pure Vaishnava. A Vaishnava therefore can accept a bona fide disciple from any part of the world without any consideration of caste and creed, and promote him to regulative principle to the status of a pure Vaishnava who is transcendental to Brahmanical culture. The system of caste or varnashrama is no longer regular even amongst the so-called followers of the system. Nor is it now possible to re-establish the institutional function in the present context of social, political and economical revolution. Without any reference to the particular custom of the country, one can be accepted a Vaishnava cult spiritually. There is no hindrance in the transcendental process. So, by the order of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the cult of Srimad Bhagavatam or the Bhagavad Gita can be preached all over the world, reclaiming all persons willing to accept the transcendental cult. Such cultural propaganda by the devotees will certainly be accepted by all persons who are reasonable and inquisitive without any particular bias for the custom of the country. The Vaishnava never accepts another Vaishnava on the basis of the birthright. Just as he never thinks of a deity of the Lord in the temple as an idol. And to remove all the doubts in this connection, Srila Shukadeva Goswami has invoked the blessings of the Lord, who is all worshipful, who is all powerful. Prabhu Vishnave Namaha. As the all powerful Lord accepts the humble service of his devotees in the devotional service of the Archana, his form as a worshipable deity in the temple, similarly the body of a pure Vaishnava changes transcendently at once when he gives up himself to the service of the Lord and is trained by the qualified Vaishnava. The injunctions of the Vaishnava regulation in this connection runs as follows. Arche Vishnu Shiladir Guru Shumnaramatir Vaishnave Jati Buddhi Shri Vishnu Nam Nishabda Samanya Buddhi, etc. One should not consider the deity of the Lord as worshipped in the temple to be an idol, nor should one consider the authorized spiritual master an ordinary man, nor should one consider a pure Vaishnava to be belonging to a particular caste, etc. Padma Purana. The conclusion is that the Lord, being all powerful, can under any and every circumstance accept anyone from any part of the world, either personally or through his bona fide manifestation as the spiritual master. Lord Chaitanya accepted many devotees from communities other than the Varnashramites, and he himself declared to teach us that he does not belong to any caste or social order of life, but he is a servant of the Lord who maintains the damsels of Vrindavana, Lord Krishna. That is the way of self-realization. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां भावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So it's my fortune to be here, assembled among all the devotees who are on Sunday morning, especially in the weekend, trying to hear about Bhagavatam, which is very rare in this world. Especially weekends are meant for enjoying, and all of you are finding that enjoyment by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and want to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And I don't have any qualification to speak, just for sake of fulfilling the instructions given to me. I would like to share some points which all of you already know, but I have just got a savor to remind myself and being helpful for all of you to remind you also. So it's a wonderful opportunity to discuss. So even in beginning, right now we are discussing a second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Parishit Maharaj is hearing from Shukadeva Goswami. He's just beginning to hear from Shukadeva Goswami. And in the beginning of second canto, we know, all of us know that how the second canto begins. End of first canto, Parikshit Maharaj, he was so desperate to hear from all the sages that because I'm going to finish my life, end my life in 7 days. So what is the best thing can I do? What should be heard? What should be remembered? What should be worshipped at the end of my life now? I have only 7 days left, oh dear sages. And you know, Shukadeva Goswami appears to be coming exactly on the same time on the bank of Ganga that time. So then Parikshit Maharaj, all the sages say, here is Shukadeva Goswami, please go and ask him, he's the best of the person to ask. You know, Yaswana Bhavam Akila Shruti Saramekam Adhyatma Deepam Atititir Shatam Tamondam. He is the best of the personality, and he is the one who understood the Vyasadeva's mood. He is the son of Vyasadeva himself. He can be the best person who can answer all of your questions. And Parikshit Maharaj asked questions to Shukadeva Goswami at the end of the first canto. And the beginning of second canto is just nothing but answers to the Parikshit Maharaj questions. What has to be heard, what has to be not heard, what has to be remembered, what has to be worshipped in the last days. Then in the beginning of the second canto, there are first chapter which filled 10 shlokas, which is like full. Anyone who hears that, any materialistic people hears that, they get, this is too much. I cannot follow these things. It's so much difficult, like instructions, the 10 shlokas. And not just Parikshit Maharaj was able to digest that. And he ends the instructions, all the instructions with Etad nirvidhyamananam ichchatam akuto bhayam yoginam api nirnitam harer nama anukirtanam. With the holy name, he ends everything. Harer nama. Harer Nama. That Harer Nama is that's all everyone has to do. Nothing else has to be remembered. Nothing else has to be contemplated or chanted other than the holy name at the time of death. But now, not only like only Parishit Maharaj sitting is that would have been fine, and immediately they would have chanted the holy name till the time of death. But now here, along with Parishit Maharaj, there are so many sages, thousands of sages, munis, rishis, and yogis who are sitting and hearing with Parishit Maharaj what Shukadeva Goswami is going to say now. So they are also present there for the purpose of their benefit, for the purpose of their understanding of Srimad Bhagavatam. then Shukdev Goswami takes time to explain why Hare Nama is sufficient or Bhakti is sufficient, one to go back to Godhead, no other process, whatever all of you are doing. Then he, in the second chapter, third chapter, right now we are in fourth chapter. In second chapter and third chapter, the second canto is filled with explanation of how Karma Kanda, yes, it is good, but as you go at the end, you find much more benefit in Bhakti Yoga than in Karma Kanda. Because Karma Kanda takes a lot of endeavors. Then he explains, he takes time to explain about Krama Mukti. Okay, first I will bring my, so many 6 chakras are there, Kundalini process is there, raising the soul from the Muladhara chakra to Ajna chakra to then Brahmarandra, taking there to heavenly planet, from one planet to another planet. So like that, Krama Mukti is explained also. So then he says, these things are not required, Maharaj. He can chant the holy name, remember the Lord, that is sufficient. Then Virat Rupa's meditation, that is also explained. After that, Virat Rupa, Super Soul's meditation, like so many different process which the sages in the Naimisharanya, sages in the banks of Ganges who are assembled to hear Bhagavatam already is practicing. So for their benefit, he is trying to explain that, glorify that in a way, and at the end conclude that better is this. So in that way he tries to convince them. Now Parikshit Maharaj, hearing all those things, now we know Bhagavatam is filled with looped conversations. Many loop is there. Conversation is, in the beginning of the Bhagavatam starts with conversation between sages of Naimisharanya and Suta Goswami. So sages of Naimisharanya, after hearing answers of Suta Goswami explaining about Shukdev Goswami telling about all these different kinds of process and bhakti is ultimate, they become a little more eager. Yes, that is good, but we want to know more about Krishna's pastimes. We want to hear Krishna's leelas now. So please explain that now. Then sages of Naimisharanya says, okay, they try to glorify the content or the Bhagavatam which is going to be spoken by Shukdev Goswami and inspire him to speak much more by saying that what is the use of the people having the ears but not hearing the Bhagavatam? It's like a snake hole. What is the use of the eyes of the people who don't see the darshan of the Lord, who doesn't read Bhagavatam? Those eyes are like peacock feathers, the plumes of peacock feathers. Like what is the use of those who are breathing? Even bellows breathe. The bellows which is used for fire, to increase the fire more and more. So that bellows, they also breathe. And what is the use of the men who don't, who may be just walking and discharging semens and other things? Even the animals do that. If they don't hear Krishna Katha, what is the use? Please explain about Krishna Katha. That is what we want to hear. Then Shukdev Goswami says, okay. Means he will continue. Our Suta Goswami explains, yes, what Shukdev Goswami tells next. Next, that Shukdev Goswami answers the questions of Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj asks 2 leelas. One is Maya Shakti, the Lord's leela with Maya Shakti, and Lord's leela with his Chit Shakti, eternal potency, that internal potency of the Lord. So he wants to hear Lord's leela with Maya Shakti first. Not that he desires to hear that for the benefit of all the sages. Lord's leela with Maya Shakti is how creation happens. So that he asks first. Because once they get to know the greatness of the Lord, how great is Lord doing such a wonderful creation, entire world, then they can appreciate the sweetness, the leelas of the Lord. That's why leelas is kept at the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Even Prabhupada so many times used to condemn those people who takes Bhagavat Sapta and directly go to the 5 chapters at the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The 5 chapters, which are Rasa Pancha Dhyaya, they go to directly that section and explaining and crying and weeping and smiling and dancing only for that 5 chapters. It's completely, Prabhupada says, Sahajyak. It should not be done. If one wants to understand Bhagavatam 10th canto, Prabhupada is very strict and he was very convinced to, not only he, even his Guru Maharaj, who is a Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, also used to mention that I am not qualified to speak Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna's 10th canto. Rather, he used to give every shloka from beginning classes for months together. There is one point of time, on first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, all of us know that, Janmadasya yathayo anvayaditarastacha artesha vijna surat. That one shloka he gave class for 3 months. So, so he want to ensure that how much you should be very clear in greatness of the Lord. Then only we can understand the sweetness. So that's why we start with Bhagavad Gita, then we go to Bhagavatam and understand the pastimes of the Lord. And it's Prabhupada's mercy, he gave us Krishna book. So that we can get the sweetness of the Lord with Prabhupada's proper commentation. We can understand the sweetness of the Lord. You might have read Krishna book. It's not always full pastimes. Always Prabhupada, every pastime there will be some lesson and there will be some philosophical understanding is present there. That's why we can read Krishna book directly, but not 10th canto. So then Parishit Maharaj, understanding this, he requests Shukadeva Goswami to explain about Maya Shakti, Lord's Leela with the Maya Shakti first. And now Shukadeva Goswami starts speaking. And when Shukadeva Goswami starts speaking now, he first offers obeisances and prayers to the Supreme Lord. And in that, one of the prayer is the prayer what we read today now. This. Where is that? Oh, it's okay. That Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha. This shloka comes as one of the prayers of Shukadeva Goswami before he even begins to speak about creation in the 5th chapter. Currently we are in the 4th chapter. And in that, this is a very beautiful shloka, and that's why Prabhupada has taken so much time to write such a huge purport. To read purport only it took 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So it's good. Prabhupada is speaking more than those who don't know anything, just repeating the word of Prabhupada. It's very good for that. So now if you see in the Prabhupada purport, the first of all Prabhupada is trying to explain in the full, he takes whole time to explain about who is Kirata, Hunandra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Yavana, Kashadaya. It takes time. Because nowadays people don't even read Mahabharata also. They have many other so-called things to read. Previously it used to be very natural for every one of us in Bharatavarsha to read Mahabharata, Ramayana and many other stories from the Puranas which used to be explained by our forefathers and mothers. They used to explain it. But nowadays it is not there. So many other things, stuffs have come and filling our minds and from the childhood. So myself, I am speaking, I am also one of the class which Prabhupada is mentioning in the Kirata Unandra. So, but one thing which Prabhupada says is that, he says, first of all he quotes that from Bhagavad Gita, shloka, this shloka he quotes that Yamhi Varta Vyapashitya, this Epi Suya Papa Yuneha, Sriya Vaishas Tata Shudra, Te Epi Yanti Parangati. Everyone in this Kali Yuga are filled in this. Like either Sriya, Vaishya, Tata Shudras, all of us have belonged to this only before coming to Krishna consciousness. Now none of us are pure devotees, maybe some, we don't know, but we are belonging to this. But Krishna is saying, if someone is taking shelter of the Lord, everything, nothing else is required for us, other than like by birthright, we cannot go back to Godhead. Only by our practice and quality of practice, we can go back to Godhead. Anyone becomes a Vaishnava, for him there is no bar. That's why Prabhupada is saying that. There is no bar for it. Even if he is born in any caste, if he takes Yad Apashtaya Ashtayaha, he takes the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can go back to Godhead in this very lifetime. Prabhupada took a lot of time to explain that. For that, Prabhupada was explaining that in the purport, if you have seen, he took time to explain about how connecting to a qualified pure devotee is very, very important. So one has to get connected to a qualified pure devotee for that reason. Otherwise, by oneself, we cannot do. Oneself, how much ever we practice, we don't have strength. Ekaki amar nahi paibal. We don't have a strength to practice by our own strength. How much strength do we have? We are unable to sit. Even the most basic thing which is expected in Krishna consciousness is chant 16 rounds, follow regulative principles. That 16 rounds sitting in one place, fully focused, that itself becomes very, very tremendous task for us. Very difficult to focus on our mind on the holy name while chanting Krishna's name. It's very difficult. Because so much of past bad impressions and so much of previous vasanas makes us life so passionate and so much of ignorant also sometimes. We are not able to focus on the holy name. That focusing on the holy name, once we achieve that stage of Nama Bhas, then our spiritual life becomes so sweet and nectar. But currently it is little bit of struggle for us. But hope is we are able to see those personalities, those qualified pure devotees who are able to connect us, they are in that stage, not just Namavas, they are in the Shuddha Nama stage where they are experiencing that. And seeing them and seeing their realizations and hearing them, we get convinced. Just like I had a beautiful example. After hearing that, I was very much convinced, yes. Sometimes I used to hear, Prabhu, my senior, he's also struggling with his own problems, but he's much better than his struggles are much superior to my struggles, in the sense he's more advanced. But still, he has struggles. But then who is not struggling? Yeah, pure devotees doesn't have any struggle over his mind. He is convinced this is Krishna's world and everything has to be used for Krishna's service. I don't need anything for my own sense gratification. And whatever comes in life, it's Krishna's arrangement for me. So he doesn't get disturbed by anything of this world. But we get disturbed with small things, very, very minute things sometimes. So that's why it's very important to us to get connected to that pure devotee through the representatives of pure devotees. And now connecting to Vaishnava is very, very important. But many times we find faults and criticize the devotees who we want to get connected to. So that becomes the biggest obstacle for us to advance in spiritual life. Getting stuck with finding the faults with those devotees whom we have to take shelter and whom we have to surrender. So this has been heavily criticized by even Rupa Goswami, Nectar of Instruction, if you see. He says, Drishte Subhava Janiter Vapuchascha Doshe. There will be for everyone there you can find fault. There is no dearth of fault in this world. So much so that Shukdev Goswami says in the 11th canto that Kaler Dosha Nidhe Rajan Astihi Eka Mahagunan Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vrijet. This Kali Yuga, there is no such great thing finding the fault in this Kali Yuga. Because Kali Yuga is filled with ocean of faults. Kaler Dosha Nidhe Rajan. Ocean. Dosha Nidhi. Kali Yuga is just nothing but Dosha Nidhi. There is nothing great finding fault with others. Everyone has faults, but greatness is lies when we find good in others. And what is the greatest good? He is saying that Asti Heka Mahagunan Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. Anyone who chants the holy name, all the other faults will be insignificant compared to the one good quality that he is chanting the holy name. That one good quality is sufficient, the good quality is sufficient which can cover up all the bad qualities in that devotee. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Gaurangi Bandurishwar Bhagwan ki, Nigai Chaitanya Deva ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So the Vaishnava therefore can accept any devotee who is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no bar. That's why anyone who chants the holy name of the Lord, any caste, any creed, any section of society comes, there is no problem with it. Either Western, Indian, Arab, anyone, Prabhupada didn't have any discrimination to give initiation or give shelter. Even though Prabhupada was heavily criticized for, first of all, traveling across the ocean. It was never a case when sannyasis travel across the ocean to give pure devotional service. So Prabhupada was heavily criticized for that first of all. And secondly, giving diksha to the people not born in India or not born in so-called Varnashrama system, giving initiation to them was heavily criticized. How it is possible? Because Prabhupada got the spirit of the law. He never followed just a letter of the law. All of us understand what is spirit of the law and letter of the law. The spirit of the law is to know what exactly the Lord wants us to do right now in this situation. Letter of the law, if one wants to follow, so many things are there in the Shastra, so many instructions, so many guidances. Like there is Mahajana Yeno Gata Sapantaha. Tarko Pravishto Shutayo Vibhinna. There are so many things in the Vedas, given in the Shastras only. Each Munis and each Pandits, they sit and do tarka of those things. Oh, this has to be followed, this should not be followed, when to do this, when to do that, this is said in this Purana, that is said in that Purana. Same thing was Arjuna was doing. Arjuna also stuck with that Tarka Pravishta Shutayo Vibhinna. He was very well versed in all the Shastras. So he had a confusion. Should I follow Dharma Shastras or Artha Shastras? Artha Shastras says that I should kill those who are my enemies. Whoever, my Kshatriya Dharma is to kill the enemies. I have to kill. But Dharma Shastra says, no, you cannot kill your own relatives, even if they are your enemies. So he was confused what to do between both. Then Krishna says, Are Arjuna, this is both are insignificant, not so superior Shastra. First of all, you should know Atma Jnana. So first of all, you should know Atma Shastra. Then all these things comes. So that's why we need guidance. That's why we need understanding of the scriptures. For that reason, surrendering to a qualified pure devotee is very, very important, which our parampara is very well known for. Then Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada explains further that Mahaprabhu himself comes and says that Prithvite Ache Nagaradigrama Sarvatra Prachara Haibe Muranama. So Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself is saying that, not that only Bharatavasis should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and it's not for the others. He never mentioned, he said Prithvi, he didn't say Bharata also there. Mahaprabhu knew also Bharata word also, right? Which shloka is there? Mahaprabhu says about Bharata. Bharata Bhumile Hoile Janmaya. So, those who are born in India, they are more responsible to spread this holy name for others who are not born. So, Mahaprabhu is saying Prithvi means what? Krishna himself wanted that entire world to be filled with, every town and village filled with his holy name. So, there is no bar. And that was fulfilled by our dear Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada has a great contribution for that reason. And in fact, one of the lecture I was hearing, it was said in that, this shloka, Kirata, Hunandra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abira, Shumbha, Yamana, Kashadaya, is especially fulfilled by Srila Prabhupada. No one else. No one else in the past, no one else in the future also can do that what Prabhupada could do. Prabhupada has fulfilled this shloka actually. He gave holy name all the continents, I think except Arctic, Arctic or Antarctic. Prabhupada went to all the other section of the world and gave the holy name freely for everyone without any consideration. Only consideration they needed is Shraddhavan, like Nadiya Godrume, Nityananda Mahajan, Atiyache Pratijan, Jivere Karan. Shraddhavan Jana hai. Whoever having the faith to accept the holy name, he gave. Only that was the qualification Prabhupada expected. Nothing else. So Lord Chaitanya, we can see that he himself wanted that entire world will be filled with the holy name of the Lord. So, but we see also in Krishna, now it's not just for Indian Lord. Krishna is the world Lord. He's a Jagannath, really a Jagannath now. He's not just a land who is just belonging to India. And he's a Pita for everyone, not just for human beings or animals. He says in the Bhagavad Gita also, he's a Aham Bija Pradapita. He is the Pita for everyone. That's why he wants every living entity to go back to him. So that privilege or that responsibility Prabhupada has fulfilled very nicely on behalf of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And one big thing happened, a big mistake happened in the side of Bharata Varsha or Varnashram system, which was followed previously in India, is even 500 years before or much before that also. If you see, Mahaprabhu also says, or very in Chaitanya Charitamrita also it comes. So-called Smarta Brahmanas, they were strict following the Varnashrama system, not allowing the lower section of the people either to chant the holy name or read the scriptures. Even if they were qualified, they were not allowed. And they are not allowed inside the temple. So many restrictions they did. They could not support the people. Brahmana is supposed to be the leader of the society. He is supposed to take care of all the people. But they just rejected those section of the people. Result was what? Prabhupada says that they were not given any privilege in the society. So when these Mohammedans, who was that? Muhammad Gori or another one, Alexander the Great, when they came to India, they could spread their religion nicely. They supported, you are not allowed in your temple, come to our temple, you can come. We will give, you want to chant mantra? Okay, our mantras are there, you can chant that. You don't have any privilege? You will get all the privileges in this section. So they were forced in that way because the leaders of the society, Brahmanas, were not given the lower, those section of the people, any privileges. So they were getting converted like anything in the other religion because of that reason. So, but now there is no such things. We can give Krishna consciousness to everyone. And most of us, I don't know, myself, I'm not from such a good background. Only because of the association of devotees, as per the Shukadeva Goswami himself mentioned, Yad Apashraya Ashraya. Just because we have taken shelter of the devotees, I'm here, all of us we know how important is association of devotees. Without association of devotees, we are nothing actually. In our life also we cannot do anything. Then Prabhupada takes time to explain about how one should not Consider Archesh Vishnu Shila there, that idol, just the stone or the form of the Lord is just an idol or just a stone. And Guru, seeing Guru in a Naramati, seeing in a very, what you say, spiritual ordinary human being, Guru as an ordinary human being, and Vaishnava as a Jati Buddhi. This is what Prabhupada trying to explain this purport. Seeing a Vaishnava with a Jati Buddhi, that is heavily condemned in the Shastras. Heavily condemned. So much so that, like, there are big seminars we also take in ISKCON also. One should not Vaishnavan in the seminars and so many other seminars which explains about like how degrading it is to do Vaishnava Ninda. One thing that elevates us in our life is being with Vaishnavas, in the association of Vaishnavas. And by criticizing a Vaishnava, finding faults with a Vaishnava, we are committing a biggest offense and digging our own grave in our spiritual life. Faults may be there, yes, there will be faults in Vaishnavas. But there are ways in Shastras given also how to overcome that. So rather than finding the faults, we should find our sadhana and our reading, hearing going deep. Once we go deep in our reading, hearing, doing sadhana very well, then we don't have time to find the faults. There was a beautiful story that one time one disciple, he was always complaining, Guruji, this I'm going to market for this, and this person is doing this mistake, that person doing other mistake. Why they are doing like this? So much mistakes. Why people are so fallen in this world? Guru got fed up and said one day that come here, I'll give an instruction, very important instruction. So he gave one madka water filled with brim, and he told, go to that part, till that location and come back with this. Let me see how skillful you are. So you're like, yes, I should do what Guru is saying now. He took that pot of water, filled water with till the brim. Now he walks hazily, then that water will spill out. Guru told, not even one drop should spill out. Then like, okay, I have to follow this. I have to show now how skillful I am in following this instruction now. So he took that pot of water and started walking very carefully, very carefully analyzing that no, I'm not stepping here, that, no ups and downs in my paths, going in a proper path. So he carried that pot of water to that section where the Guru told to go and come back. And he came back. Now Guru asked, how many faults did you find in the people around? No, there was no faults, Maharaj. No. Like, every day you could find so many faults. Why today no faults? No, I was busy with the service you have given. So only when we are not busy with the service which is given by our superiors, our spiritual master, then we are busy finding faults with others. So you're like, okay, Eureka experience for him now. So we can be very clear only when we are not focused and only when we are not fulfilling the desire of our spiritual master, then we are busy with finding, oh, that devotee is like this, Prabhu, this devotee is like this, Prabhu, that Vaishnava is like that, Prabhu. So much comment. And mind will be filled with faults of the devotee. And these faults are good for us? Definitely not. We know that these faults are not good for us. But we are busy finding that. Why? The mind likes to have it, but soul never likes to have it. It is a distraction for our own spiritual life, finding fault with others. You criticize one Vaishnava, sit for chanting. Krishna will beat you and you have to fall only after that. We cannot chant by criticizing a Vaishnava. So it's very important, Vaishnava Jati Buddhi, we cannot do that. And Lord being powerful can under any and every circumstances accept anyone from any part of the world, either personally or through his bona fide manifestations as a spiritual master. So it's a fortune for us to be in association of devotees and taking this process of Krishna consciousness which Prabhupada has given to all of us. So there is a wonderful Upadesha Upakhyan story by our Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So one time king had given a lot of gold, full basket of gold to the goldsmith, and he says that, okay, you make a beautiful golden pot for me. This is a story by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And this goldsmith takes, generally goldsmiths are known for, even if you give half gram, he will manage to take 0.25 gram from that. So he's expert in that. He was thinking, and king gave warning also, you should not do any miscalculation here or any adulteration here. You should make all the gold for the pot purpose only. Then he was thinking how to make. So he weighed the gold which he got and everything. and try to do some, I want to take some gold for me and for my wife's sake. I can make nice ornament for her and me. So how to do that? Then he thought, okay, he found a pot, big pot he found. And he took the pot and he did a lepan. Lepan means he just did the layering for that mud pot. That stone pot, whichever was there, he just did the layering for that with gold. And after that he went to king and showed, dear king, your golden pot is ready. And king says, he said, what is this golden pot? It looks little bit awkward. It's not so heavy. Golden pot, if it is that much thickness, it should be very heavy. What is this? Is this really golden pot? Yes, yes, my dear king, it's a golden pot only. No, I feel like it is a stone pot. Yeah, you can call it as a golden stone pot. Oh, he says, what is this golden stone pot? So Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur says, we cannot term a golden stone pot. Either it is a gold pot or it is a stone pot. Don't make it a golden stone pot. So he says, either he is a Brahmana or he is a Vaishnava. You don't call him a Brahmana Vaishnava, Kshatriya Vaishnava, Shudra Vaishnava, Western Vaishnava, Indian Vaishnava, North Indian Vaishnava, West Indian Vaishnava, South Indian Vaishnava. These things is completely offensive, he says. He was very strict there. We should not designate a Vaishnava with any other caste or religion or sect. Vaishnava is a Vaishnava. Because he is surrendering to the lotus feet of spiritual master, he is a Vaishnava. He is not a Brahmana Vaishnava. Oh, this is from a Shudra Vaishnava. This is from a Brahmana Vaishnava. It's offensive, he says. Strictly offensive. North Indian Vaishnava, South Indian Vaishnava. South Indian Vaishnavas are very pure. North Indian Vaishnava, all these are offensive terminology, he says. So it's a very offensive. So I just want to show one small PPT for the next few minutes regarding the offenses. What are all the offenses we generally tend to do and how we can overcome that. Yeah. So tips to avoid offenses in dealing. This is a wonderful big seminar, but we'll try to cover some part of it. So fault finding. So general tendency with all of us is to find the fault in Vaishnavas. So fault finding, there are different varieties of fault finding. Generally, we tend to do in our daily life. One is, you can say fault finding, like you can see our mind itself. Always it's try to find the fault only. Because why? Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur says that because we are filled with faults, that's why we want to find faults. Only when we know that it's a fault, then only we can find it. So we ourselves are filled with faults, that's why we find those fault only with others. So basically, we reflect ourselves with others. The consciousness or the mirror in which or the specs in which we see through the others, that matters a lot. So between we, the soul, and them, there is a mind, chitta is there. So when chitta is contaminated, we see others with that consciousness. So it's very important to clean and to have proper vision and proper direction in our mind itself. What kind of contamination I have? So that's why we are able to see those as faults. Otherwise, flies, if you see, how much a clean place you keep. Entire room is clean, you keep nice flowers, nice clean fruits and vegetables, so nice dishes you keep. But if you keep a little bit stool is there on the corner of some insects or some other rat or something, flies likes to go there, not to the clean place. That's how our mind also, many times, our mind because contaminated and filled with so much of contaminations, it goes to those who are contamination only. It sees only contamination with other people. Because our mind is contaminated, it likes to have contamination. Otherwise, if you have a purified heart, that's why it is said also, Uttamadhikaris, they cannot see any faults in others because they don't have faults. They cannot see in others. Very difficult for Uttamadhikaris to see the fault in others. So by finding the faults in others, actually we dig our own grave. So very careful not to find a fault with others. Even if you find also, we should have a lot of backup in our intelligence. When you faults we find in others, what should be the next step? Because all of us are brought up in so much of science and education and technology, we know like backup and other things. So whenever the faults comes immediately, we should have certain script within us. Okay, this should come front. Faults. This is insignificant fault, Prabhu. That devotee is doing such a wonderful service. He has been like that before. Now he is doing so much better. Means so much of script we can keep ready with to deal with our mind's contamination. Mind will definitely come with its faults. Because mind's duty, mind will do. Mind's duty is that, to get distracted and get deviated. But we should use our intelligence in a proper direction to keep the proper script within us. Whenever we find fault, get the script which we have formed for ourselves, so that we can save from the mental offenses. So fault finding, we are supposed to be like a bees, not like flies. So we have to look for the good in others. It says also, like we say in devotee association also, that glorification a day keeps Maya away, something like that. So try to glorify. Try to glorify the devotees when you see. Not in an artificial manner, but from a heartfelt. Definitely we can see some good in others. Try to see good in a Vaishnavas around. One good you can always see. Even how much bad you are, you can see some good in a Vaishnava. Glorify that. But if you don't glorify, it keeps in the heart sometimes that unspoken glorifications becomes envy in the heart. So don't try to develop that. Just speak it and glorify. Then hearts become soft. So you might have seen also, whenever we are in association where other Vaishnavas are glorified, or some glorification sessions are going on, or Vyasa Puja ceremonies are going on, or some ceremony or some association where one devotee is glorified for his services, or group of devotees are glorified, you just be in that association. You don't speak anything. When you come out, you feel so good, light in heart. You feel like, I'll chant now 108 rounds. Like it's so nice. Heart becomes so soft by hearing the glorification of the Lord. So we hear the glorification of the Lord. Make sure we hear the glorification, or be in the association where we hear the glorification. That's why to attend the Vyasa Puja ceremonies, hearing the glorification of the great souls is very important. Or keep hearing the glorification of the Vaishnavas on the festivals. Now today is Loknath Goswami's disappearance day. So hear about Loknath Goswami. Who is Loknath Goswami? So by hearing the glorification of the Acharyas, Vaishnavas, our hearts get so light. Especially hearing about Goswamis. We'll just melt away the kind of the devotional service they have done in Vrindavan under the instruction of Sri Mahaprabhu. At the last, we'll see some of that also. So blaspheming other Vaishnavas. So you have good qualities, but still defaming you. Means calling ill name for others, or even if some mistake is done, we try to expand the mistakes of others, blaspheming. Because of the envy in the heart only. He is doing that, why I am not able to do? So if I want to be superior, I have to put him down. That's why we do blasphemy, so that ourselves we can show as superior. And sometimes it comes calling a spade. Means he did fault, Prabhu, I have to I have to correct it. So this is my duty to correct. We become a self-employed person to find fault with others. So it should be very clear with us. We are not a self-employed people in the temple or in our community to find fault with others. Everyone has their own adhikar to find faults. Like suppose a senior devotee who is guiding his juniors, out of compassion for the people under him, he has to correct them, give guidance, give corrections time to time. That is his service. But we just go to a temple, Prabhu, this is not like this, Prabhu, keep there. We should not become a self-employed corrector. And that is like we are self-employing to destroy ourselves. So we should not do that. So never become a self-employed feedback giver and other things. If you are told, if you are asked, you can do. Then we can argue also, Prabhu, I am telling the truth, Prabhu. Yeah, that truth is going to be big. It will take away from absolute truth. The truth which we are seeing. So, truth to say also, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, in the 17th chapter, Anudvega karam vakyam, satyam, priyam, hitam chayat. Swadhyabhyasanam chaiva. Are we doing that swadhyabhyasanam before giving correction to others? We don't do swadhyabhyaya. We do other adhyayanas, not swadhyaya. So that we don't do. So Anudvegakaram Vakyam. It should not be displeasing to others. Satyam, yes, we are following Satyam. But is it Anudvegam? It is irritating others, disturbing others. Or Satyam Priyam, it is pleasing to others. Anudvegakaram Vakyam, Satyam Priyam Hitam. Hita, yes Prabhu, it is Hita for others. I am telling so that he can improve. But all the five actually. Satyam Priyam Hitam Chayat, Swadhyabhyasanam Chaiva, Vangmaya Tapa Uchyate. So that Vangmaya, that for our speech also there should be tapasya to follow these five criteria. So one becomes very sober. So we should not call a spade unless we are told to do or it's our service. Yeah, saintly person is overlooking faults and seeing good in others. This is what we have to learn. That's what Nityananda Prabhu was. Nityananda Prabhu was for that reason. When I was explaining about the certain sect of people in the lower class, they could not get any privileges in the Varnashrama religion, and they became completely outcast. They became so down. Can't we get self-realization just because we are born in this? Nityananda Prabhu completely erased all those conceptions. He went to the most degraded people. Nityananda Prabhu. That too, he went to whom? Jagai Madai, who are completely doing all the breaking of all the principles and everything. He wanted to deliver them, showing that Mahaprabhu has come to deliver everyone. There is no caste barrier, there is no religion barrier, nothing barrier for all these things. And Mahaprabhu made Haridas Thakur, who has a Yamana background, has a Mlecha background, as a Ramacharya. So Nityananda Prabhu takes that role to glorify Mahaprabhu by delivering the most fallen. That's why Nityananda Prabhu should be very dear to us, so that we can get delivered. We are the most fallens in this world. So not to judge or not to judge. Sometimes this also confusion arises within us. We just take some message comes in WhatsApp or some message comes in mail or something. We do not even try to analyze whether it is true or not. Immediately take action and judge others. So it's very important us to respond to the situations, not to react. So respond means we use our intelligence, we use our discrimination power, all the ability we have to understand the situation. React means immediately like just scolding or deciding that this Vaishnava is like this without any adhikar. So that should not be done. So always it's best to take benefit of doubt when you want to correct or when you want criticize, not criticize. So no need to criticize anyone. When you want to correct out of care also, we have to be very sure why I am doing. Am I doing envy for others? This duty is too much. I got today an opportunity to correct. Is that our feeling inside? He's doing too much natak, Prabhu. Today I got this reason, proper reason. I can tell him so that I am satisfied to putting him down. So is that our mood when we correct others? So these are basically neophyte behaviors. We have to overcome all these things. So we have many things to discuss, but we should understand how great we are to being in association of Vaishnavas. They are our ashraya, Yadapashraya. We cannot just find fault with them and destroy our spiritual life. So we cannot do that. So that comes to the point where we'll discuss little about today, being a disappearance day of Lokanath Goswami. We'll discuss something about him. So Lokanath Goswami, actually, he was originally from living in Navadvip. So he has seen the childhood pastimes of Mahaprabhu, and he was very great devotee of the Lord. And when Mahaprabhu was about to take sannyas, he told Lokanath Goswami that, Lokanath Goswami, like, you cannot bear me taking sannyas here, shaving up my hair, and you cannot watch that. So before taking sannyas, he told Lokanath Goswami that you go to Vrindavan. I will come after taking sannyas. I'll come to Vrindavan. So Lokanath Goswami says, why Lord you have to take sannyas? You are a Lord himself. For Lord there is no caste and creed barrier. Why you have to take sannyas, my Lord? That too, Lord's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's hair is so much glorified in CC actually, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very curly, long hair. So much it is glorified. Even Damodar Ashtakam also we sing, Rasam Kuntalai Snigdha Rakstaisha Gopya. So that Kuntala, that curly long hair, not straight hair, it's like curly long hair. Mahaprabhu has so much, it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So many, that barber who shaved the Mahaprabhu, he left the job only. I don't want to I don't want to see any other hair after visualizing this hair of Mahaprabhu. So he left that and he became a great Vaishnava after that. So that much beautiful was Mahaprabhu's hair. He was asking, why Lord, you have to give up your such a chaste, wonderful wife and such a loving mother? Why you have to give up all these things? He says, yes, I have to do Loknath Goswami, like Loknath, I have to do it. This is my mission now. Because I have come to deliver everyone. I am able to give message to the people who are like, the lower people who are rejected by the society. I am able to shelter them. But now these people, those who are proud with the knowledge of the Varnashrama, knowledge of the scriptures and so-called Brahminical knowledge and practices and rituals, they are not able to take to the process. And these people will only respect me and will only accept my instructions only if I am superior to them in Varnashrama ladder. So what to do that? I am a Grihastha now. They will not consider my teachings now. So if they have to accept my teachings, I have to be up in the Varnashrama ladder. For that reason, Lord takes sannyas actually. Because everyone can respect. It literally happens. Once Lord takes sannyas, all those who are offending Mahaprabhu, they just comes and pays obeisance. Now you are a sannyasi. You say what we have to do like that. Means Lord used their own tendency to give the message to them. So that's what he answers. Then Mahaprabhu takes sannyas. And Loknath Goswami weepingly, like he goes to Vrindavan. Yes, now I cannot do. You are an independent Lord. How much I can restrict? Then Loknath Goswami goes to Vrindavan. And he stays in the, he stays at Vrindavana. Every day his regular work or duty was, he used to roam in the 12 forest of Vrindavan. He used to roam in the 12 forest of Vrindavan and stay in Kadirvan, near a kund called as Kishori Kund. So he used to stay there and do his bhajan along with Bhugarbha Goswami. There also he finds some association. So this Bhugarbha Goswami was a disciple of Gadadhar Pandit. So they used to do wonderful Sankirtan at night. Daytime he used to do entire parikrama of Vrindavan. Nighttime, Kirtan. Whole night Kirtan with Bhugarbha Goswami. So they used to have a very wonderful mood, wonderful time. So Bhugarbha Goswami also we see. Bhugarbha Goswami is Samadhi in Radha Damodar temple. In the Radha Damodar temple, when you do the circumambulation and come near the, it's in between, if you have seen, it is in between the Rupa Goswami's Bhajan Kutir and Rupa Goswami's Samadhi. Two structures are there. So in another corner, you can see Bhugarbha Goswami's Samadhi. So he also used to be there. And Loknath Goswami Samadhi also, Loknath Goswami Samadhi is in Gokulananda temple. Radha Gokulananda. So, in that way, Loknath Goswami used to be in Vrindavan. And Mahaprabhu, all of us know, after sannyas, he wanted to go to Vrindavan. But our Nityananda Prabhu, what he did? Instead of taking him to Vrindavan, he took Mahaprabhu to Shantipur. So, by knowing the heart of the Lord only, Nityananda put it. Because Sachimata was so broken-hearted. So, Sachimata comes from Navadvip to Shantipur. And under there, Sachimata instructs or requests Mahaprabhu, okay, now you have taken sannyas. And Lord also becomes just like, not sannyasi, just like a child of Sachimata, says that, Mother, if you want, I can give up this sannyas also now. Tell me, I will give up and come home now. Mother says, no. Now you have taken sannyas, you have done that. Anyway, fine, but at least you stay in Puri, Jagannath Puri, because I keep getting your news every now and then. Because Bengal and Puri is not so far. Every Chaturmas or every time, people from Bengal used to go to take darshan of Jagannath. So I will get some news about you. But Vrindavan, nothing is existing there. Hardly anyone. Because everything gone under Lupta. Lupta means got hidden or it's vanished there. No one hardly, any few Babajis here and there. There is no holy place. Now you go in Vrindavan, my God, you cannot, highway is traffic. That highway, Bhaktivedanta Marg highway, go in the evening time, fully filled with people. No place for the autos or anyone. So much Vrindavan has filled with so many devotees because of 6 Goswamis. So 6 Goswamis are yet to come. First Loknath Goswami goes. So Mahaprabhu sends Loknath Goswami, you be there and wait till 6 Goswamis comes. And I will also come after taking sannyas. But now, after taking sannyas, he is not able to come. He goes to from Shantipur directly to Jagannath Puri now. Now this news, who comes to know? Loknath Goswami. Hey, I am waiting for Mahaprabhu here for a long time. And Mahaprabhu has he has gone to Puri now. So let me go and meet Mahaprabhu and take further instruction what to do. Because he told me that he will come to Puri. Now Loknath Goswami starts moving towards Jagannath Puri to meet Mahaprabhu. But by that time, he goes to South Indian Yatra. So Mahaprabhu leaves for South Indian. 2 years Yatra he leaves. 2 years, big Yatra. Entire South India he keeps covering. All the peninsular part of India, he just covers. And he coming to know that Mahaprabhu went to South India, he also, in walk, goes to South India. There is no phone, no? Mahaprabhu updates his status or he says, I am here, come here. So they don't know what is what. So he takes a pain to walk all towards South India. Loknath Goswami. He didn't say, I will wait. Who will walk till South India? Where to find in South India? South India is not a one location, no? It is an entire region. So he also walks in South India. And finally, when Mahaprabhu completes and comes back to Puri, he get to know that, already I am in South India now. Mahaprabhu already completed South Indian Yatra and came to Puri back. And he thinks, okay, let me go back to Puri now. Now he goes back to Puri. And there he comes to know, Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan. He was thinking, I supposed to be in Vrindavan now. Mahaprabhu told he'll come and meet me. So Loknath Goswami was like, Krishna, what I did, Mahaprabhu will be asking and waiting and looking for me in Vrindavan. I am in Puri now. It's not that one night you can travel to Puri, to Vrindavan, Puri, catch an express, go to Vrindavan. It takes months together to walk from Puri to Vrindavan. Then again he goes from Puri to Vrindavan. Now when Loknath Goswami comes to Vrindavan, just previous month Mahaprabhu leaves from Vrindavan. Everyone says, hey, where were you? Mahaprabhu was looking for you. He was asking for you. You're like, don't tell me. Mahaprabhu was looking for you. Where were you? You're like, just last month, Kartik month, at the end, Mahaprabhu came and stayed for 2 months. He was looking for you in Vrindavan. Okay, you're like, now, okay, where is Mahaprabhu now? He went to Prayag now. He went to Prayagraj. So, okay, let me immediately go. Tomorrow morning, I'll go to Prayagraj. Then that night, Mahaprabhu comes to dream of Loknath Goswami. No. Now you stay in Vrindavan. Don't go anywhere. I told you to stay in Vrindavan. Be in Vrindavan. Now soon all the 6 Goswamis will come to Vrindavan. You be elder brother for them and assist them in their mission, the fulfilling. I have given my instructions to them and you just assist them in whatever they are doing. So in that way, his devotional service is so much glorified. And we don't find much details in CC about Loknath Goswami. Very little we find. One pastime we know, like how before that, Loknath Goswami, he had a very longing desire to serve Krishna very personally. So for that reason, understanding he didn't ask for the Lord give me this facility or something like that. So one day one Brahmana arrives and gives the deity of Radha Govinda. Radha Govinda deity, small deities of Radha Govinda to Loknath Goswami. Loknath Goswami is so happy seeing, yes, this was my heart cherished desire to have a deity of the Lord and worship them regularly, and Lord fulfilled my desire. So the entire life he just spent just worshipping the deity of Radha Vinod, his Pranadhan, his whole life and soul was the deity of Radha Vinod. And he worshipped Radha Vinod so nicely every day. He didn't have any shop to purchase anything. He used to live in 12 forest of Vrindavan. At that time there was no, what is that bazaar? Loi bazaar. So there was no Loi bazaar to purchase a deity cloth, to purchase flowers and ornaments. He didn't have any other facility. Whatever was available in the forest, some pearls, some gems or some stones, or he used to make regularly flower bed for the Lord with the flower collected from the forest. Like that, whatever available from the forest, fruits, with that he served Radha Vinod so nicely. So at the end, Goswamis, I think Sanatana Goswami told him, now you can, many people told, Goswami ji, we'll construct a temple for your Radha Vinod. He told, no, if temple comes, because throughout the day Radha Vinod is with Loknath Goswami only. He never used to keep in one place. He had a bag, he made a bag by taking some cloth around, he stitched a bag himself, and in that bag he used to keep Radha Vinod. With that Radha Vinod, he used to travel whole day around Vrindavan. So people used to say, Goswamiji, construct a temple, we'll construct a beautiful temple for Vinodji. No, don't do that. I want to always be with Radha Vinod. Finally, under the instruction of 6 Goswamis, like Sanatana Goswami told, now install the deity in this temple. So that's why we find Radha Vinod in Radha Gokulananda temple. So Gokulananda is a Vishnu Chakra Thakur's, but originally that temple, Radha Vinod was there. So Radha Vinod, we find there in Gokulananda temple. And Samadhi of Loknath Goswami is also in Gokulananda courtyard only. And Loknath Goswami, many of us may not know much, but we know his disciple more. That is Narottam Das Thakur. The instance of, I'll take 2-3 minutes to and complete. Instance of how the meeting between Loknath Goswami, he didn't accept any disciple. He was just absorbed in serving Radha Vinod for entire life. He understood disciple means more headache, more management. So he just want to be with service of Radha Vinod only. So, but Narottam Das Thakur came under the instruction of Mahaprabhu only. Mahaprabhu only sent him to take initiation from Loknath Goswami. He never had a disciple. So then, as all of us know, he immediately will refuse. No, I cannot accept. You are a king. You are such a great scholar. You are a that. There's so much thing he says and rejects. And our disciple who wanted to become disciple, Narottam Das Thakur, he never argues. Guru Maharaj, how can you do that? I am coming and taking shelter. You should give initiation. You should accept me. You cannot do this. He never argued anything. What he did, okay, even if I want to accept as a spiritual master, as my Loknath Goswami, as my spiritual master, what will do after that? I will serve. So let me serve now only. So he was finding for a service. Where can I serve? Where can I serve Loknath Goswami? So he found a very nice service. Every day Loknath Goswami, in the early morning duties, he used to go to some place and finish up the duty and come back. So he found that, oh, this is very nice. Because if the bathroom is dirty, we don't like feeling going there. No? So if I clean the place, it will be very nice for my Guru Maharaj to go to that place and fulfill his morning duties. And he, every day, it's months together, he was just cleaning the place where Loknath Goswami used to go for morning duties. And he didn't expect anything. Hardly any expectation from that. Nowadays we do one service, then lot of expectation. Koi to nahi dekha hai, glorification kar raha hai. A lot of expectation comes. Or we'll take photo. Prabhu, this cleaning is done. Reporting. All this reporting, everything is needed for us so that we will continue in our service. These things were not required for Narottam Das Thakur. He just was fulfilled by serving and getting the service to my spiritual master. That itself was so satisfying for him. And completely absorbed in the service of just doing the most menial. That's why sometimes we say also, he was a prince scavenger. He was a prince of Keturi Gram. He was a prince, but he was happy to do the scavenging work for his spiritual master. So such a great acharyas we have. And ultimately, we know the Loknath Goswami understands how is that this place is every day so clean. Generally, what people do is like they go to some place and after 2-3 days they don't go there, they go to another place. By the time they come back, sun will purify that place. So now every day that place is so neat and clean. How is that? Then he was like, let me see who is coming and doing this. So one day he came much earlier and waited for someone is coming and doing this and everything. Then he found that Narottam Das Thakur coming and picking up the things as a pile and cleaning the place. And how he is doing that? His attention and care, it is said there that as equal to like someone who worships the deity, no? How careful they are. Like worshipping the deity so carefully, so softly handling. That way he was doing that service. This is my service, this is my life, this is my wealth. Seva, Sampada. So that he was so, seeing the mood of Narottam Das Thakur, his heart got melted. And he accepted after that as his disciple. And then because he wanted to do bhajan and everything after that, then he said, you can get nice teachings. Not here, you go to Jiva Goswami. He sent to the school of Jiva Goswami. There you study nicely all the scriptures. So then he sent. He didn't have any insecurity. He is such a king disciple. How will I send to Jiva Goswami? If Jiva Goswami captures him, my only disciple will be lost. All this insecurity, nothing is there among Vaishnavas actually. He was like, Vaishnavas are a single family and single unit. There is no insecurity. There is no, oh, my disciple, great disciple, my follower, I should have more followers. All these things, nothing was there. So this is the glories of our acharyas. So let's meditate on Loknath Goswami's qualities today. We can hear more and more about Loknath Goswami. I just try to summarize in few minutes about Loknath Goswami. So Srila Loknath Goswami Tirobhama Sokhi. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. No, they don't have any questions. I didn't sell masses.
Anybody has any questions, you can ask.
Let us thank Abhishek for taking out his valuable time and explaining the glories of Loknath Goswami and this important verse of how people across the whole world can become devotees. He is our cleanliness in charge also.